What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Easter Sunday 2025, so happy Easter to everyone out there. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Now, when it comes to the channel and celebrating a big holiday, I usually like to review a beer that invokes the holiday spirit or a beer that is inspired by the holiday, and I think the beer I have today is exactly that. And it comes from the Buffalo Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York, and this is their Paczki Stout. So this is an American Stout that is brewed with raspberry and black currant. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume, 35 IBUs at the time of review. And this can is approximately 6 weeks old. So when it comes to Paczkis, or some people pronounce it Punchki. There's a bunch of different pronunciations for the word. If you look at this label, you can see what looks like to be donuts on there, right? And that's essentially what a Paczki is. It's kind of like a donut-esque pastry, but it's from Poland. I have a Polish heritage, and I have been eating Paczkis for the vast majority of my life. Here in Buffalo, New York, we have a huge Polish population, and I always remember eating these around Lent and Easter, and also on Fat Tuesday, which is also referred to as Paczki Day. So they released this one for Paczki Day, and typically here in the Buffalo, New York area, you have raspberry-filled ones. You have black raspberry, sometimes like different kinds of cream. I love the black raspberry ones, and I recently just had one like about a week and a half ago, and it was delicious. Now, the difference between like a donut and a Paczki is Paczkis are a bit more rich and definitely more dense. Like if you hold a Paczki in your hand compared to like a regular donut, it's like double the weight. It's insane. And they are delicious, but they are calorie laden, so don't eat them too often. Now, on the label here, they also have other ingredients: malts, pale ale, white wheat, chocolate malt, honey malt, roasted barley, and carafa, and then hops US Magnum. And like I said, 6%, 35 IBUs. I'm here for it. Full disclosure, I did have this on tap at a recent beer festival. It was the 2025 Brewers Invitational, which took place at the New York Beer Project Lodge in Orchard Park, New York, towards the end of February. But it was like ice cold. You know, I'm sampling a lot of other beers. I thought it was good, but not great. It was good. It was a good beer. I think I gave it like a 3.8 or 3.9 on Untapped. But I knew I wanted to grab a can of this, and therefore I did. So really excited about this one. I picked this one up at the Magic Bear Beer Cellar in downtown Buffalo, New York. Check out Craig and his shop if you've never been. Awesome dude, very knowledgeable, had a great selection of beer that I can't get in the Northtown, so Niagara County-esque. Like I go up to Brewed and Bottled. Chris is awesome, his shop's awesome. Sometimes he can't bring in certain things. Well, Craig had them, and anytime I'm in the Buffalo area, I'll definitely check out his shop, and I recommend it to everybody. So the smell of this is amazing. It smelled literally like the filling, like the black raspberry jam filling that I recently had from the Paczki that I had. So how does it look on camera? Well, it looks beautiful. It definitely looks pitch black. I'll pull out the contraband flashlight here. Can you see anything through it, down top, below? Nah, nothing. It's pitch black. When I was pouring it out, it was pretty much pitch black. Has about a half finger of a straight up tan colored head. Looks somewhat creamy, but yeah, that looks like, you know, a stout. That's what that's supposed to be. It's a Paczki Stout, 6%. Anyway, let's get a nose. Dude, it fucking smells spot on. 100% one of the Paczkis that I ate week and a half ago. Like legit to a T, it smells like black raspberry. They're using raspberry and black currant, or black currant. And yeah, I mean, that's producing like a black raspberry kind of nose. There's some underlying like coffee and chocolate, roasted malt for sure. Maybe a touch of caramel. I cannot get over how much this smells like the filling of a Paczki. It's insane. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. It smells better than I remember it at the festival, but I was probably hammered, you know? Anyway, cheers. Happy Easter. Okay, this is better than what I remember. What I love about this beer is that, yes, they're going for a Paczki Stout, but the base beer is not getting lost here. It's here. There's even like a nice pronounced bitterness on the finish. The raspberry and black currant character is more nuanced in the taste than the nose, which is a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because that nose, if that carries over, this beer is going to be sickly sweet, probably cloying. Don't want to finish it. But it's a little too subtle to really punch me in the face with that blast of that black raspberry filling that I'm so fond of. Buying this is impressive at 6%. This is like higher side of medium, lower side of full. I shit you not. It has a nice viscosity to it for something that's 6%. It really does. The mouthfeel is moderately carbonated, still has a little bit of a smooth, creamy sensation. So the mouthfeel is nice, but I think the body is superior to it. The taste. This is a well-balanced Paczki Stout. So if you look at that and you're thinking what they're going for, and you're like, it's like a dessert stout or that's a pastry stout, it really isn't. It's like they brewed a very well-constructed, well-balanced, regular American Stout and then just have a nice touch of that Paczki filling on top of it. So forefront, roasted malt for sure. It almost is approaching charry. It's very deeply roasted. Then I get like a bittering, like baker's chocolate. There is a nice like medium roasted coffee and maybe a touch of caramel. And then midway through the palate, that's where the raspberry and the black currant hit. And again, to me, it tastes more like black raspberry and it has more of like a jammy kind of sensation. So it's like a black raspberry jam, which is what you get in the Paczkis. And then on the finish, it has this nice earthy bittering finish. This is moderately bitter. There's a little bit of like a resinous kind of like even slight like pine quality on the back. I know it sounds kind of different for something like this, but it really does truly balance it out. Finishes semi to full on dry. This is a soup. This is the second time I've said this in the last week because, yeah, I think you're going to see that review this prior Wednesday. So like maybe like 3-4 days ago. This beer is reminiscent of that baklava delivery boy special from Strange Bird, where that was like a baklava brown ale that did have a dessert pastry-esque vibe to it, but it wasn't over the top. It wasn't cloying. It was super drinkable. That's what this is. I could drink multiple cans of this. It's not over the top with the fruit flavor. It has a very nice balanced like base stout. And this, my friends, is actually quite tasty and better than I remember it. And that's why at Beer Fest, like I'll usually check them in on Tapped or whatever, but like I know I'm getting 4 ounces at most. Beer Fest is sometimes 5, and your palate's shot about 10 pours in, you're just done, right? Like your palates, yeah, usually I can tell you if it was good or if it wasn't. I can't really decipher exactly what I'm just, this tastes really good. Drinking this on a fresh palate, this is way better than I remember. And I gave it, like I said, 3.8, 3.9 on Untapped. This is gonna get like a quarter point better for sure, at the very least. So, Paczki Stout from the Buffalo Brewing Company. I am going to give this a low 4.25 and go 4.2. Great job to the Buffalo Brewing Company. I don't know if I've reviewed anything from them on the channel. I want to say maybe their Loganberry Ale, maybe another beer. But we don't see that much here in the North Towns, like I said. Usually it's more in the city of Buffalo. And a lot of times their stuff's at their brewery and I don't get there that often. But if you're in Buffalo and you can get this, they still should be on the shelves at some places. Give it a go. This is a fun beer. The label's fantastic. I love it. This is great. 4.2 out of 5. Price point. I think I paid $5 at Magic Bear Beer Cellar. It might seem a little bit steep, but to me, this is a quality beer, and I like supporting local, especially if it's a lot of people say support local. I'm always support local if they're good. If a brewery's good and you enjoy their beer, definitely support them over like a regional or national brewery. But don't support local just to support local if they don't make good products. This is a good product. I would definitely pay $5 for a can just to support the brewery. And then availability, like I said, Buffalo Brewing Company does not get a ton of distribution. You got to be in the Buffalo area, maybe the West New York area at the most. But yeah, check them out. I've actually went there once to pick up that Loganberry Ale that I mentioned earlier for my dad, and that was it. That's the only time I've been there. I got to go down there and drink and have a good time there. They have some cool beers there, so I got to check them out. And this is I think, great representation of the type of quality they can kick out. So yeah, I didn't even say 6%. I can't even tell. There's no warming chest, nothing. Just a very well done, well balanced, and it's a pastry / dessert stout that isn't. And I get excited about that nowadays because too many of them are too sweet, too over the top. This is not one of them. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Like I said, happy Easter. Tomorrow is Dingus Day for us Polish folk, and that means I should have a beer that is invokes the spirit of Dingus Day. We'll see. Check back tomorrow. Find out. Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.